Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to give you a Monster Legends informational video where we're going to be talking about the May breeding event for phase one. Now I don't know the rest of the phases for this quest line or what's the end game for this. Bless me. I don't know what the final monster is, but we're gonna talk about the first phase, and then when it gets to the second phase, we'll talk about it. So after like probably like 4 days, it's gonna show us the next phase of the breeding event. Right now for phase one, it's doing the new monster, the new breeding monster that's currently out for just this time for the May breeding quest. It is Vampirium. You don't see it's in the background, but you know that's the result. Uh, you get Vampiria by breeding Van Kmark and Griffin. You can get Griffin in the this week's dungeon. This is this week's dungeon. Now the only problem is the only ever problem with this stuff is it usually takes a day and all that jazz to get it done. Uh, or at least in terms of breeding the egg. So I always kind of feel like that's taking away time for you to actually get a chance to actually get the legendary monster. Uh, Now you can substitute if you don't have. I'm gonna say this right now. If you don't have Griffin, you can substitute Griffin for Violet, which is let me see here. It's this monster right here. I can't really show you, but you know it's right here. She's in the breed. Oh, she's right now. She's at the breeding tree, so it would make sense if I went to the breeding tree. No, so here it is. It's not Vampirium. Violet, and all that jazz. That's the monster you need. If you don't have Griffin, you use Violet. But you do need Van Kmark. You get Van Kmark by doing the Space Raiders Maze. Is the epic monster for this event. You need to pick him up before. I mean, like or during this event. He takes time to hatch too, so that's again taking more time to do the thingies. So, yeah, so now that we're done talking about that, how to get the breeding monsters for Vampiria, let's talk about Vampiria herself. Vampiria overall is not too impressive. She has an AoE stamina drain, 50% stamina drain, but it only does 20 damage, and you really wouldn't want to put a 20 damage AoE on your attacker. Just doesn't make much sense. It should be prioritizing and just killing. If it did normal damage, then by all means, that's a very fine move to do. But 20 or 25 damage isn't all that much for an attacker. uh, and all that jazz. Yeah. Mystery. Let's talk about Mystery now. Mystery is, I will say, out of the two, like between Mystery and Vampiria, way better than Vampiria, just by a long shot. She is a denier, like she does. She's really good at single target denying. She has 100% possession and she has 100% freeze. She also has a 50% possession and a 50% freeze. Now, in all honesty, if you're running something like Lux and or Incognita, I'm gonna say you should pair it up with them, and it's immensely. This monster gets immensely better. It runs the same speed as Thedes and Frostbite too, just to let you guys know. I think it does. Maybe it runs at 412. I think that's at least 30 speed or something. So how do you get Mystery? Mystery is actually this is the first time they're doing this. They're giving the monster out for a challenge, and basically the way we explained it is it's a progression. It's a progression event. uh, it's not too hard though. I will say if you started this at the beginning of the event, so it's like 4 days. You have 4 days to get this thing, and that's completely doable. They are pretty much giving you this monster for free. As soon as I started this event, I got half the items. Like I literally started at I started this event at 7 in the morning. I got I got a whole bunch of stuff like the 9 breeding monsters, the 9 hatch eggs. I got all of that and all that. They literally give you a bunch of items to start out. So it's at it says it's like a gajillion gems, but when you break get all the stuff, it's actually just 440 gems. Uh, Now, if you do want Vampirium, you might have to rush it, because then you have to get the egg to. I mean, you have to get that egg hatch, and then you need to breed it with Vampirium, or not Vampiria, not Vampirium, Vampiria, to get Vampirium. Uh, Now, is Vampirium worth it? Vampirium, in all honesty, is a really great monster. It's only held back by the fact it's not immune to freeze. That's the hugest problem with it. It's the same case with Varna. It's immune to stun, not freeze. And when you're dealing with things in the category that just have one of the most powered denies in the game, freezing and or possession, you have a hard time. You have a really hard time. You have a hard time enjoying your fight because you denied the whole game. uh, Now, if you have proper setup, then that's not too much of a problem. I mean, if you have something that can give immunity to freeze, again, you're all good at that point. Uh, but in terms of damage output, it's a phenomenal monster. That Vampirium is such a great monster in terms of damage output. He's got a 45 damage special based AoE that bleeds. I think it was like 65, 60 damage single target dark move that gave life back. He has a single target bleed that does it's dark base too. Basically, it's just a huge fire slash earth killer. It's massively it does a massive amounts of damage to those two. It just completely destroys them from the waist down, just utterly destroy. uh, his ultimate's really great. Extra turn, triple damage for 3 turns, 100% life reset. So if you even if it's like at an inch of its life left, if it's literally the last turn, he's gonna get all of his life back, and also he removes all the debuffs off him. So if he's got a shit ton of DOT on him, it just removed. It's gone. The DOTs are gone. He's fine. He's ready to destroy some more. Other neat things about him, he's got an AoE 50% stamina drain, I believe. I don't think you should run it though, personally, because I don't think it's really worth running. It's water based, so it doesn't do much damage to the enemy water monster. Uh, I would just go with the AoE bleed, in all personal honesty. Uh, and he has a 70 not 70 70 target 70 damage single target move that is 0.5% chance to possess. But if you're running the stereotypical damage dealer and buffer that gives precision, you're good. I mean, it's 100% at that point. I'm pretty sure they're dead at this point, but if they're not dead, they will be possessed. So it's kind of a good way to for sure secure something. Like something is secure, like even if you don't by some like odd chance don't kill it, even though it's a 70 damage base move, it's possessed at that point, so you're probably fine. uh I'm just gonna drop my phone there. uh so yeah, for the most part, this is an alright breeding event, I'd say. I'd wish they buffed Vampiria. She could use some buffing, a little bit of tweaking. Just like maybe just the AoE could be buffed. The AoE is just the most terrible thing about Vampiria. Uh, she has some other small things, but I think that's the major one. Her AoE does no damage. I know it's a utility thing, but it does no damage. Uh, I am kind of bothered that it's an epic. Like, there's two epic like you need two epic monsters for this event, because if you don't have one, it's gonna take you a day for sure to hatch the epic for one thing, and it just takes more time away from actually trying to get this thing. Uh, and especially if you don't have, I would say if you don't have either of these monsters, just straight up, you just don't have either of them right away. Odds are you might not get the Vampirium. You might not get them. Just because of time and all that jazz it takes to hatch the egg. I really wish the breeding temple decreased the time for hatching. I have this thing fired up. Uh, I would also like to let you guys know, I read this up on Armor's Discord chat. Armor's a phenomenal YouTuber, Monster ML, ML player and all that jazz. Really good guy. There is currently a post that there's a chance to get something like Haku or another Griffin. Now, if I have to say, if you do get it, that's kind of like, oh, jeez, man. Apparently, that's not a bug. That's apparently not a bug. It's like if you ever check the updates page by going into the settings and then the updates, they're saying they're gonna do some changes to the special breeding events, where like you get a chance to get something like a non-breedable epic, or something from like a past breeding event, which sounds really interesting. Uh, No, I don't know if that's like the percentage chance on that. It could be. Watch it's like a 1% chance. That would be really messed up. A 1% chance. So the equivalent to never after being buried by light speeds and all that jazz. But there's a chance to get something that's not really mentioned in the breeding event. Now, I don't know if that's true. It could be true. It could not be true. But I think the updates page did mention the updates page apparently has mentioned something about it. I haven't looked at it myself, but that's just a thing on Discord. Somebody said they got something that wasn't part of the event, like a Haku or like a Griffin. That would actually, in all honesty, that would really suck if you just got a Griffin because Griffin. I don't think Griffin was all that great. I don't think remembering his moveset. I don't think he has anything that stands out. At least I can't remember. It's been a long time since I looked at his kit, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't anything too impressive. Uh, so yeah, that's pretty much the whole explanation for this breeding event for this phase one. We'll be bringing up the next two phases in the future, but right now I just wanted to talk about phase one. Overall, pretty neat event. Some new stuff. I like you pretty much get a free. They're basically giving us mystery. That's a cool thing. They're giving us a legendary monster that was the second to last monster, mind you, for the last event. So that was like 9,000. That's around like 9,000 or 8,000 coins, or just like maybe 10,000. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was a shit ton of coins for her route. It was a lot of coins for her route. It's pretty much the equivalent of Lumoon, around 9,000. Odds are it is 9,000. Hers was 9,000, and just like Lumoon's is Lamuna, Lamoon, Lamuna is currently at the moment. So I think that's really nice. That's pretty cool. Essentially I just have all the zodiacs. I just realized that I got Passion here. I got my boy Virtue here. I got Bright down here. Uh, I just like to say my Virtue's name's Captain America. Captain America. But yeah, that's gonna be cool. I got the Zodiac collection. I'm gonna have to make space or just like make room. See, because I have like all the I have the legendary things all together. They got their own crib. But yeah, that's everything. That I can explain to you guys at the moment. When Phase 2 and Phase 3 come out, I'll explain those things too. It might be shorter because there's not much to explain versus this video, when it's just new stuff right off the bat and less stuff as the thing goes on and all that jazz. Or maybe more explanation, I suppose. But yeah, that's everything for this video. I hope this video helped you out. I'm Dib the Awesome. I'll catch you guys later.